Okay then, so here we are back at baccarat. I actually skipped a day. But no, I'm just doing my duty, building up the stock, learning a little bit more about how to do these things. One of these days I might actually be able to produce a watchable video. But in the meantime, I hope that a few of you out there are getting some useful information out of these things, because there is no other way to beat negative expectation games, the tilted table games in casinos, unless you bet progressively. The other options are flat betting and random betting, neither of which stand a chance in hell. So that's just how it is. Anyway, off we go. Oh, my goodness, I haven't put up the calendar. That's bad news. Oh dear. Let me pause a moment and fix that. Okay, I said calendar, and of course what I meant was clock, which includes a calendar, or at least it includes the date. That's what you get, you see, when you get on a bit. There's one word in your head and another one comes out of your mouth. It's just one of those things. Kind of exciting, really. You just don't know what you're going to say next, do you? Anyway, let's go. Move this out the way. Suppose it could go down there. Yeah, that's all right. All right then. So, and please remember, I have no idea what's coming. And I especially don't like it when I forget to press the fast tit. All right, double for the loss. Repeat. Minimum. +1. 51. Repeat. Double for the tie. 2, 3. Back to the minimum. +1. All right, back to the min. Win it, etc. Repeat. What? 51. 2, 3. 5, 6. Long grass. 11, 6. Going to the banker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now 5, 7 for the commission. Don't do what those Wallies in the Vegas Mat team do and wait to collect the commission afterwards. That is just so daft, honestly. So what was that? It was 5, 7. So we're going to go 12. 1, 2, 3, 12, 15. We're going to be running away from this in a second, I think. Yeah, we are. So that's going to be 3, 3. We're going to dump this one. 3, 3 on player. Next time, never ever start a new shoe with a bet on banker, at least not if you want to take my advice. My advice is generally good. I can honestly say that. Just because it's based on long experience and a lot of research. So, okay, so we're on 3, 3 on player right now. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Better go 6, 7, I think, now. What? Damn it, are we going to have to go to blackjack this soon? 13, 15. Okay. So we're on 28, 15, and we are indeed going to run to blackjack. 28, 15, so that's 30, 15. Okay. We had a bad run here. Nasty. So 30, 15. Let's have a look and see what we got here. All right, so that was even, 11, 11. It's all about timing. And that was 0 to 3. So we're -3 at baccarat. And need to pause again while I get blackjack sorted out. All right, so straight into doo-doo, just like that, like diving into a slurry pit or whatever. 30, 15, the drop is going to be 6,000. Bugger. 36, 15. Aha, 43, 15. It's funny how it can be like this sometimes. 49, 15. Damn it. 55, 15. Christ on a bicycle. Oh, Jesus. 55, 64, 15. This is not funny. Okay, 64. So 64, 15. So that's 58, 15. So 60, 15. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 60, 15. So that's 45, 30. Oh boy. I think that might be enough. I mean, I can understand why people think that I must be rigging these games because, I keep going until things go my way. And that's the essence of pattern betting, of course. But since I invariably end up a winner after quite a battle from time to time, then people are inclined to think, uh-oh, he must be cheating. And what they don't think through, because they're not logical thinking people, they're just basically knee-jerk jerks, they don't sort of ask themselves, well, why would anybody do that? Why would anybody go to all this trouble over decades to cheat, to put across a message that's a lie? They don't ever ask themselves, well, is it possible that the casinos might benefit from telling us all that pattern betting can't work, while not admitting that flat betting and random betting can't possibly work either, and that in fact the only thing that can work is progressive betting? I mean, that's they don't, these trolls, these twerps, don't think things through. They are not thinking people. That's the problem. Anyway, what I'm now going to have to do, I don't want to go back to baccarat, so I'm going to just play out this shoe. No, I can't even do that because I have to go back to the minimum. So again, please bear with me while I go back to a cheap table. All right, so we're back at the cheap table, and I'll play out this shoe, and then if it'll let me, and then give up. Not give up, but I mean stop. Oh dear, 51. Well, it got me there. Repeat. That's a double. Damn it, that deserved better, didn't it? That's 2, 3. 5-6. Don't tell me. That's a double. Oh, bugger. That's better. Okay, back to the min. Double for the loss. 1-2. Double. Back to the minimum. I like that up there. Big bucks. Double down. I like it when I beat a 20 like that. I think that's a plus. Let's just hope so anyway. That's a good job up there. I think that was 22 again. All right, so we're going to chase that one. All right, so that's going to be 3-4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I love it. All right. Okay, 51. Damn it. Double for the push. Double down. Ouch. Okay, so that's 5-6, I think. $11-6 dropped to 3. It's going to be one of those sessions, isn't it? Oh, yeah. 14-6. So that's 8-6. Because we just got 6 back. 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Double down. Super duper. Back to the men. You got to have a plan. You got to know it inside out. You got to believe in it, and you got to complain when you get 22. But it won't do any good. 1, 2. He's showing off now, the wizard. 3, 4. Oh dear, oh dear. Ouch. 7, 8. Gordon Bennett. I love this expression that Paulie C has. Magic. No magic. I didn't get any magic that time, did I? 15 dropped to 3. Uh, 15, 8, 18, 8. Aye. 21, 8. All right, that was worth 6, so that's 15, 8. So we'll call that 3, 2 in reds. One, 2. That's a double. Boy, that looked sticky for a bit there, didn't it? Okay, back to the men. Double for the loss. That was easy. That's a repeat. Oh, 51. Repeat. That was good. Interestingly, with the Paulie C guys, they're not professional losers in the sense that they have their own channels and that they're sort of like performing seals like the Vegas Mats and the Bobby Rivases and so on. They're not in showbiz. They're actually, playing in a way that they believe stands a good chance of making them winners. And they do the weirdest things, like taking even money, standing on 12 against 3, things that just don't make sense. Not doubling down on 9 when it's a decent shot. And they're entitled to do whatever they want. Of course they are. But they're not going to make any money playing the way that they do. I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. Short term, yes, sure. Long term, no chance. 1, 2. Oh my God. 3, 4. That's magic, right? That's what Paulie's talking about. All right, I think we got the 3, 4 was good, so we're out of that. I'm just hoping I can get to the end of this shoe without dying. Double for the loss. One, 2. Ah! 3, 4. Oh boy. 7, 8. Ah, 15, 8 dropped to 3. It's not going well, this one. 18, 8. 15, 8. So we'll call that 3, 2 in reds. 5, 4. Ah. 9, 10, which is, no, I can't do 9, 10. So I've got to run away. Damn it. But it happens. It's just how it is. Can't get upset. So 9, 10 is 5, 5 in thousands. And I'll be back in a minute. All right, so we're at a middle roller table. 1,000 to 25,000. I did have somebody say to me a few weeks ago, good luck finding a table that'll allow you to bet from 1,000 to 25,000. And, the only response that I can give to that is to say, hey, this is proof that the casinos know that progressive betting works. That's why they have table limits. It's to discourage people from betting a wide spread, which is the only way you can beat the house. Now I've forgotten where I am. I'm on 5, 5, aren't I think. Oh boy. Oh! So I think that's it, right? I'll have to go through all the motions, the Excel and all that stuff. But that was hairy, but we came out a winner for a change. Yeah, right. Geez. Okay, well, I'll catch you in the Excel zone. Okay, so yeah, you might look at this and think, well, obviously that wasn't a whole lot of fun. That was miserable. That was nasty. That was tough. And it's fair to say that it's never fun to be challenged this much, to be threatened this much. But the truth is, it's just part of the process. The professional losers on YouTube go through these rituals where they throw tens of thousands in the toilet and they just keep doing it over and over and over again, making the same mistakes. The difference with pattern betting is that it's backed by a very large bankroll and also by a plan which is consistently followed. And so the result of that, of course, is that we gag from baccarat to blackjack because of the higher available max. The table limit is twice as much, 100,000 instead of 50,000, and away we go. It's also absolutely fair to say, well, who can afford that? I mean, people just, most people just cannot afford that kind of money. And that's the whole point. Nobody without a monster bankroll, a sort of a Dana White sized bankroll, a Crazy Cody bankroll, a Vegas Matt bankroll, any of those guys, and if you're lacking that sort of money, you're not going to make any headway. But what is absolutely fascinating is that those guys have all got that kind of money and they're still losers. So, what are you supposed to deduce from that? I mean, to me, the indication is that these people are simply working for the casinos. They are putting on a show. They're not trying to win. They are, in fact, perfectly happy to lose because they get their money back from other sources. What those other sources are, I suppose, is their business. But certainly they are not afraid of losing money at these table games. The thing that interests me most is Paulie C, who I've been watching a little bit lately, and he's a strange guy, makes a lot of noise. He's very proud of his teeth. He flashes them in, sort of a grimace every so often. Sometimes he says that he suddenly got a burst of indigestion or something like that. But it's something to see. But anyway, he's providing me with good data sets, so I should be grateful. But anyway, what happened this time was that we had a terrible time. We lost 27,155 at baccarat. Gagged, gag being get up and go. We gagged to blackjack, and very quickly, well, not very quickly, but we struggled a bit, but we got there. Let's go and have a look at it. Excuse me. Okay, so we had 6 losing bets and 3 winning ones. And in fact, the win from this session was quite a bit more than is shown here. Because I pressed on with it only because, as you saw from the video, I keep going simply because there are twits out there who'll sort of say, yeah, well, you just got lucky with that one. I mean, that was just a lucky turnaround and it could have gone the other way. So what I'm always anxious to do is to say, okay, well, let's play on for a bit and see if the resolution would have come 5 bets later, 10 bets later, 20 bets later, or whatever. So the final win actually was not 45,000, it was 55,525. And no, sorry, 55,225. Let's get it accurate and not the sum that you see there. But I'm not concerned about that. I mean, I'm not fiddling or faking anything. I'm being sort of as transparent as I can possibly be. I am obsessed with accuracy, that's for sure. Anybody who knows me knows that. And I don't apologize for that, because what other way is there to do it? The front page is down here, and the actual blackjack win over baccarat after paying this lot off is 28,070. So I think that's pretty damn good. Back to the chart. And of course the horrible shoes, which were, but like I say, it's just part of the process. It is now 16 times we've had to dodge over to blackjack to take advantage of the higher table limits, and keep in mind those table limits might sound tremendously high to you, 100,000, but to the likes of Crazy Cody and oh no, what's this new guy I've started watching who is even crazier than Crazy Cody? Goober, he calls himself. I think he's also in Toronto and filming from his basement or from a junk room or a playroom or a family room. I don't know, whatever. But I mean, he's as daft as Cody is, and. those guys are throwing around hundreds of thousands, a single bet of 600,000 sometimes. And I don't know whether they're telling the truth, whether they're really risking that money when they're playing online with the casinos that they're playing with, because certainly Mr. Handpay, Jason Bulkey, a long time ago, set up a kind of a stir, kicked the hornet's nest when he said that all of these people are in fact exempt from their losses, when they're promoting online operations. And now, of course, Jason Bulkey, like everybody else, everybody can be bought, everybody has a price, and he's now sold out to a couple of online gambling operations. But I don't know whether that means that he insists on paying for his losses when he loses, which he certainly will if he keeps on betting the way that he does. He hasn't done any sessions online, as far as I know. I certainly haven't caught any. All I ever see is his the felt life, as he calls it, and I know that felt has different meanings, but it sounds a bit kind of creepy to me. But anyway, the felt life is what he calls his adventures in table games, rather than those dreadful slots, which are the greatest sucker bet of all time. But who knows what's going on? But all I'm trying to say to you is that the bets that those guys put on the table from time to time are tiny, in their minds, but far more than most people could possibly manage to put in play. And this is the whole point of the operation that I've been running now for all these decades, trying to say to people, if you can't afford to win, it doesn't make any sense to push your money at risk. It is ridiculous. You cannot beat the house unless you have huge resources and unless you have a plan. And that's always been the message. But as usual, not many people want to actually listen to it. Anyway, that's where we are currently. We're at up 1,000, nearly 1.8 million. We've now been 16 times to the blackjack table, gagging to blackjack. Blackjack is now accounting for 81% of our total win. If you go back up here, you'll see that even factoring in the horrible losses of late, we're still making over 1,000 an hour at baccarat. That would be if we just walked away from those losses and said, okay, all right, And I know that my friend Mo in California, who's done sterling work with Baccarat Win Pro, playing pattern betting, he tells me 98% of the time, he has devised a way of doing it where he does in fact apply a stop loss. I've never been successful with those. Of course, for your regular punters, stop losses mean they just run out of money, and it's a sort of an involuntary stop loss. I'm not quite sure what Mo's doing, but one of these days he'll tell me. I'm sure he's a busy fella, so he can't talk to me every day, and I wouldn't want him to. But anyway, that's where we're at. The front page shows the full win, 28,070. There are the two nasties, the recent ones. And there is absolutely no sense in bending over. When you hit a bad run, when you're up against it, you are much better off to just get out of there, but make sure you take your down, which is your win target, the amount that you're in the hole, and the full value of your next bet, your out, as I call it, and as it's described in pattern betting. So you got your down and you're out. Take them with you to the next game, and you will prevail. But you won't do it unless you have a huge bankroll. And once you've got your hands on that, a bankroll that's certainly peanuts compared to the bankroll that the casino has to beat you to death with, it's very small. Once you've got those things mastered, then you are on your way to wealth. Let's just go and have a quick look at the Nevada numbers. I can never resist it because it's always, just a reminder that stupidity, greed, drunkenness, tiredness, ignorance, stupidity. Did I mention stupidity? Stupidity is a big factor. Uh, so that we know mathematically the house edge for blackjack is less than 1%, but here it is, the house winning 13%. For craps, it's less than 1.5%, but the house is winning 16%. For roulette, it's somewhere between 2.7 and 5.26%. The house is winning 19%. Never touch UTH or three-card poker, both absolute rip-offs. Baccarat, the house edge for that is less than, it's around 1.25%, certainly less than 1.3% against you, but the house is making 16% and 12% depending on whether it's baccarat, the big tables, or mini-bac. And all of the others, leave them alone. Keno, bingo, let it ride, pai gow poker, racebook, well, that's a whole other thing. Sportsbook, I like both of those, and I've done very well at those over the years, but only with progressive betting. You have to bet progressively. You cannot bet flat, randomly, emotionally, seat of the pantsly, or any of those things. You must stick with a progressive betting plan. So there you have it. That's it for now, I think.